All right. How many people here own an article of clothing from, say, Hollister? Raise your hand. All right. So a decent amount of the class. Abercrombie, Aeropostale, any of those. Raise your hand. All right. How many people here own this sweatshirt? One of these, an HHF sweatshirt. That you do. Now, I can safely say that only 2 people in this world own this sweatshirt. I can safely say that because I made it, and every one of my sweatshirts has a number on the hood. Now, why did I make HHF? The reason why I made HHF, have that, is because I want to go ahead and make clothing that is for the underground style of music and against the whole, everybody does this, so let's go with that side, the conformity side. Now, everybody here wrote a manuscript, so I'm going to go ahead and fight conformity and say, screw it. I'm amazed that went in. So now here's the thing. Mainstream music, everybody knows it. The good side of mainstream, it's on the radio. You can go to a store, get it, whatever you need. Then you have the underground. You have the music that you can't find anywhere. It's a hard-to-get thing. You have to go online, you have to download the songs, you have to go to YouTube, find a downloader so you can get the DJs. You have to do that type of stuff. Now, the real thing that I have against mainstream is usually it takes people and it changes them from what they did so they can love it. Loving the music and making music for the love of it. And taking them just to a corporate and making money. Now, I can give you a few names, and one of them is my good friend Dying to Live. He's a very non-mainstream person because he doesn't rap about the usual thing of bitches and hoes, as someone said earlier in these speeches, and also not about money, drugs, cars, things like that. Another good one, and I must say, thank you, Andrew, for Classified. He's another good example of this. He's very just robust with his lyrics, if you will. Now, another thing is mainstream society. See, in mainstream society, I can get a job at, say, Market Basket because I have a mohawk. Just because of that, they will say you can't get a job here because it'll steer customers away because they don't want to see that. That's not proper. Now, what exactly is proper? It's what everybody thinks you should be. Hollister is one reason that everybody thinks you should wear Hollister because it's the in thing. Quite honestly, Hollister shirts are paper thin. If I threw a handful of rocks at them, they'd rip. Just saying. I mean, they're good for maybe California where it's 120 degrees. All right, go for it. But we live in Maine, people, okay? It's kind of like 19 degrees out right now. It's a little bit cold for a Hollister shirt. Then again, there's also other mainstream things, such as mainstream schooling. This would be considered mainstream schooling. What do we do in these classes? We do homework, we write, we learn things from books. I do half the day of mainstream schooling, and I gotta tell you that half of the day I absolutely hate. The other half of the day, the first half, I am working in a welding shop. Because some people just can't learn the way that others do. I have a harder time reading from a book and learning things than I do with my hands. I can honestly pick up any welder in the shop and weld with it. Within 10 minutes I can have perfect beads, just because I know how to use that machine. We have people that used to be part of a machine shop at that Voc Center, and he was one of the best machinists that I knew of. He also now does the fire science one because he's learning about fire and how to stop it and prevent it, because that's what he wants to do for a job. Now, what exactly is it most people want to do for jobs? They aren't sure. They're told they have to go to college. Why do they have to go to college? Because society says so. Now, why I don't agree with that is because why do you want to go for 5 years of college when you could have gone for 4 if you just waited an extra year and you don't have to pay any extra money because you switched what your major was? Not to mention, some of the majors that people get are just absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Philosophy is one of them. In Maine, what are you going to do with a philosophy degree? Nothing. Maybe in California, you have a better chance of being a drama teacher in California than you do here, because there's, well, a lot more kids, there's a lot more of that society around there because they have Hollywood. On top of that, let's go back to clothing real quick. Why is it that one of my shirts, that sweatshirt over there, costs roughly $35 maybe, without the extra stuff on it, because I just made that my own. Why is it that a shirt from Hollister would probably cost about that if it's not on sale? Just because they can charge that much. It's what people will pay for it because they want to look like everybody else. They want to look like everybody else so they fit in. Why? Why do you want to fit in? Because when we're young, we're taught it's okay to be different. But if you're too different, then you're weird. If you don't act the same as people, but dress differently, they want to steer away from you. But if you dress the same and act like everybody else, more people will talk to you only because you're just like them in every way. You listen to the same music, you do this, you drive around the same year of cars, you do this, and you have nothing unique about yourself half the time. And then once you find something unique and you bring it up in a group, they do one of two things. Embrace the difference because, hey, you're doing what you love. Or two, they tell you to stop. And I don't think that's right. So maybe people in society today should open their eyes that just because I have a mohawk doesn't make me a bad kid. It might have a symbol from the 80s of rebel and things like that people don't like. Because, I mean, walking around with a bobby pin in your cheek, yeah, it's a little strange, but hey, whatever. However you get your jollies, right? But the thing about it is society doesn't like seeing difference. They like people being locked in trap, doing nothing but what everybody wants them to. Mainstream media only made to scare people so they keep coming back to the corporation, so they keep watching the news. I mean, think about it. Let's talk about the swine flu scare. Honestly, like 90 people got the swine flu. That's less people than usually die from the regular flu each year. I mean, on average, it's like 25 to 30,000 people die of the regular flu, but because it's a new strain of flu, the media's all over it so they can scare the entire society into thinking what they want them to. Now, what I'm asking you to do is go out, try new things, don't be afraid of what people think, because quite honestly, it doesn't matter what they think. What they think is just, it doesn't mean anything to what you are. You can like who you want, you can do what you want, you can dance, you can do this, you can do that. What you need to do is just get rid of the mainstream society mentality and go for what you love.